One of the things that you learn, your mind learns, truly learns, absolutely with clarity learns um, after awakening and enlightenment comes and goes, is that you can make some kind of comparison with what you were in all aspects prior and what you are now, with this fresh, naive, vulnerable, open, and I would say very, very accepting mind. I used to think, talking from presence, I used to think that some people understood me and I understood some people, and that there was a very evident link that held us together as human beings. So that you made so much effort to try and get people to understand you, and you made so much effort in trying to understand other people. But people were talking minds, we're talking psychological sharing. And since then, whatever you see before you is a form. You can look at the name. It's not really a true name. There's no name that can really stamp its authority on each or on this one. Not that I'm fighting against the authority. There's just it makes no sense to label anything in this universe, because whatever you label will become very evident in your psyche and will form an allowance to dissect things, because let's label everything. So it's okay to label that one. If we're okay to label that one, we have to label everything, you see. So talking from presence, I don't understand anything, anyone. So therefore, the mind that I used to have, very similar to the same mind that I inherited, has to really be very suspect about what I'm saying. So it's funny, because enlightenment, spirituality, religion, whatever faith, whatever you're looking at it, even in a human aspect, the idea is to see oneness, and that's what every enlightened mind projects through that Sat Chit Ananda, non-dual, bliss, euphoric, infinite, immortal, and limitless state. So how come a speaker of mind suddenly is not speaking as oneness, but is speaking from a point of mind? Because only mind exists when it comes to human communication. This is words, this is language. This is not my words, not my language. This was given, this was inherited, this was conditioned, this was programmed. We create The human ego mind creates that what it wants to follow. The word God was created not by this mind, not by this form, but many, many centuries ago. Let's call this thing that we're looking for, this that we know inside exists, let's call it God. So we kind of unify the words, and then they become a process, then become a way, a method. And we think that we're all speaking the same tongue, all speaking the same language. This buddy, sat next to another male or female at school, primary school, secondary school. We both had the same subject, but it is quite obvious that both were accepting in many diverse ways of what the subject was to that mind. Because that mind also did not have the same parents, this mind, as that one or that one. And that parents brought that one up in a particular way, and this parent brought this one up in a particular way, and my parents brought myself up in a particular way. So the unification of oneness it comes from being. There is no separation until we open our mouths, until we make comments, we make decisions, we make comparisons, we make preferences, we make values, we make measurements, we make judgment on anything else outside of the world or inside of the world that does not involve you. So if I say Paris is the capital of France, capital city of France, I'm just repeating what I know from school. And there's a unification because it is fact, because in every atlas, in every French person's, and everyone that knows France and everyone that understands the geography and the atlas will say, yeah. But it's just a name inside of a name, and we're all following the same name to try and unify and control us into saying everything is the same. Well, after enlightenment, with a pure mind, no one, not one single human being or living form will understand, or will come to terms, or will accept, or will love fully, or will absolutely see an immaculate reflection of what their life is when this one speaks. So how plausible is it? How plausible is it? I mean, even the human body, we see it through our perception, our eyes, and we see it in what we see as through a mind, an ego, a need to understand, a need to tag, a need to identify, a need to label, a need to associate, a need to make sense of. We see different colours of hair, different colours of lips, different colours of eyes, different colours of t-shirts, different actions, different dance moves, different tones of the voice, and so this is not a punishment, this is liberation. So ego is to say, well, we are one, singular, and the idea of enlightenment is to take away the one, singular, and make it into a completion of what one is. The whole soul, spirit, consciousness, body, form, mind, ego, life, existence, all, that's who I am. And then we understand life in a completely different way. There's no two me's, there's no two flowers, there's no two sunlights. So the idea that the mind can unify and bring together at some peace treaty or some Alaska conference, it's not worth the effort and the time. We are, well, when using mind, we're one. When there's when only silence, no communication, no visual interpretation, no thoughts, no mental constructed preferences or measurements or how to analyze. When all of this is quiet, we are one. All is one. There's no separation. But we are made, whether it's a controlling mechanism from some system or some satellite dish, we are made to see things differently, to act differently, to produce differently, to create differently. Religion will say it's a great thing. We're all unique reflections of God. If you want to see God in His fullness, we'll see everyone as a unique reflection of God. Absolutely. So, the question is, after enlightenment, when everything is one, when the mind is quiet, then there's no need to try and bring together, there's no need to, unify, there's no need to measure, no need to judge, no need to take sides, there's no need to make effort, there's no need to try and change, there's no need to break down laws, guidelines, regulations, there's no need for all of that stuff. Why do we revert to this human conditioned programmed way? Why do we revert to programming? Why do we revert to being this robot? Why do we revert to saying my language is the best language and I'm telling you how it is, and I can resolve all conflict and I can sort out the world if only all of you would listen to me? Just like Christ tried to do. Does it work, does it? It doesn't work. Oneness appearing as oneness with a human mind that disgraces the actuality of being here, representing God or life or consciousness, by going through a programmatic way, a conditioned way, a way to try and say, let's all come together, which backfires and makes everything more divided. What the hell are we doing? As U.G. Krishnamurti says, monkeys. To think we have to unify something that is already unified is absolutely foolishness. I'm going to eat the steak, but not until I know it's a steak, and not until I prove it's a steak, and not until I'm confirming through other steak lovers that it's the best steak or what the hell are we that we cannot trust? We cannot trust and accept and have faith in consciousness or whatever it is that we are as oneness. You see? Why is it the speaker using second-hand verbalization, second-hand communication, second-hand ways that ego creates to try and replicate and shadow something that is unbelievably far superior, not separate from I, the being? When we all be, there's no wars, no peace. There's nothing to make effort for. When we all be. But when we all try and be something to bring together all the little somethings into one big being, we totally fuck up. So again, another message from some sort of mental mind, some confused mind. Even though the mind is enlightened, it still tries to come to terms with division. Its origin, its basis is oneness, witnessing a divided mind, a divided world. Even with the most newest born of minds, something still breaks it up, you see. What breaks it up? The idea that humans know something. The idea that humans can discover something. The idea that humans are special. We don't have to have an idea about that. We're already that, you see. But to think we have to prove and justify and make effort. I can fit in. I have something to offer the world. I want to show you. I want to merge. I want peace. I want unification. I want oneness. Who is I want? Who is I want? You know, this is a guy with a pink t-shirt. If your conditioned mind says, yeah, he's talking nonsense, which he is, it is, whatever I am is, go listen to Papa G or something. He'll tell you about that same want, that same nonsensical mind. But even Papa G, in his unique enlightened state, is talking from its own conditioning, its own programming. The mind is completely programmed. Different variations, different levels, different frequencies, different qualities. Appears to be showing and appears to be coming and going. I like to think my frequency, my energy, my mind's quality is pretty useless, pretty unintelligent, and pretty unwise. Because I don't want to be the teller of your story, the teller of your life, the theorist that says this is how the world is run, this is how we should be doing it, this is what past and future, this is time. You know, these things are just messed up qualities of my mind.